The state of Michigan just finished its annual spring assessment period, and this year there was a big change. For the first time since 2007, all juniors in the state took the SAT test as opposed to the ACT. The ACT and the SAT are both summative assessments mainly used for college acceptance and gaining a merit-based scholarship. The tests have many similarities and differences that students should take note of. Let's start with time. Both tests take a large amount of time that have optional writing sections. The SAT lasts for 3 hours and 50 minutes, while the ACT clocks in at 3 hours and 25 minutes. Now let's talk about subject matter. Though the SAT does not have a section dedicated to science, it does contain some science-related questions throughout the test. In contrast, the ACT has all of the subjects, including science, separated. Both tests do include a reading section, but it's tested differently. The SAT has 5 reading selections and the ACT has 4. One of the largest differences among the two tests is the grading scale. The ACT runs with a 36-point scale derived from averaging each section's score, while the SAT has a 1600-point scale that adds each section together. The questions in each test vary greatly. The SAT are harder and more complex than the questions on the ACT. They often require multiple steps to get an answer, compared to the simpler questions on the ACT. On the SAT, questions get more difficult as you move on. For the ACT, difficult questions are mixed in with the more general ones. The SAT has recently revamped its test, making some major changes, like for the first time, students will not be punished for wrong answers, just like on the ACT. Also, like the ACT, the SAT will have 4 answer choices instead of 5 like in previous years. And the reading passages will have a more complex structure and tougher vocabulary. Students will have to know multiple definitions of words. This aligns well with Michigan testing standards. Brian Whiston, the state superintendent, says Michigan switched to the SAT for a few reasons.
It was time to bid the testing, and so both ACT and SAT bid for the test, and I think SAT just offered more support programs to help students be successful. You can take online assessments leading up to the SAT, and it will tell you what you need to do to help you get a better score. So I think the decision was made not only based on lower cost, but just the services and supports that it provides. It was decided to make that change from ACT to SAT.
But don't underestimate the power of the money in the decision to change to the SAT. The state saved $15.4 million on the new contract. And students have mixed views on the testing changes.
They've been preparing us since like 3rd grade to do the ACTs, and just to switch it up our junior year, that's kind of a bit disturbing, but hopefully I do good on it. Other than that, I'm pretty excited to take it, be the first people, so.
I'm gonna be able to use my SAT score to probably get scholarships into colleges and stuff, which I personally think is going to be great, and I think that it'll teach me how to adapt to definitely a new way of learning.
And there are more testing changes to come. Just weeks before MSTEP testing, lawmakers decided to eliminate the statewide test starting next year.
We're looking at what assessment students should take 3rd through 11th grade and how we can have assessments that help teachers drive instructions, can be used by school districts in terms of teacher evaluations and state accountability. So we're going through that process to see what all the testing should be.